Hello everyone and welcome to Bloom Cap. My name is Ankit Sharma and I am your faculty for reasoning aptitude. I have 8 plus years of teaching experience and I have taught students from verticals which are as following: banking, SSC, railway, defense, NTSC MAT, UGC NET, CLAT, ALET and other similar examination. I have been a part of the leading edtechs in the country and I have mentored over 50,000 candidates in both online plus offline mode. Now I am going to use this vast pool of experience to guide you, to mentor you, and to ensure that you start loving my subject. My dear students, the topic for today is dice and cubes. Now, in the serials like Mahabharata, you must have gone through, I'm sure, you must have seen Shakuni Mama used to throw dice like this, because at that time the dice was of the shape of cuboid. Gradually, with the passage of time, it has been reduced in the form of cube. Okay, so now the topic dice comes under cubes. Okay, so here we start with the topic, but just before that, have a look at the thought of the day, which says, when you have a vision that is strong enough and powerful enough, nothing can stand in your way. Yes, my dear students, where there is a will, there is a way. Once you have decided, now nothing can stop you. All right? And with these words, let us start with the topic. My dear students, this is a cube. Okay, this is the 3D view, three-dimensional view of a cube. Now, there are some things which you need to know. Okay, so now the first thing is that how many edges are there in the cube, how many faces are there in the cube, and how many vertices, that is corner points, are there in the cube. All right, so now many of you already have the answers for these questions, but for those who do not have answers to these questions, now please try to understand the things. See, if you talk about the edges, okay, if you talk about the edges, my dear students, the edges are 12. How? Yes, how 12 edges are there? Now I will tell you. See, if I talk about the edges, let us count the edges. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 edges have already come. Now 5, 6, 7, and then 8. Total 8 edges. Now 9, 10, 11, and then 12. So total how many edges are there? 12. All right. Now if I talk about the faces, that how many faces are there? You must have seen a dice. It had total 6 faces. On one of the face, 1 was there, on another 2, then 3, 4, 5, and 6. So a cube has got total 6 faces. Okay. And these 6 faces can be better written as 3 pair of opposite faces. 3 pair of opposite faces. Okay, let me explain this. Now suppose the room in which I am sitting is of the form of a cube. Then what are the 3 pair of opposite face? The face at the top and the face at the bottom, one pair. The face in my front and the face at my back, second pair of opposite face. Then the third pair of opposite face is the face at my left and the face at my right. So these are the 3 pair of opposite faces. Now, moving ahead, my dear students. Now the point is, how many vertices are there? And I'm quite sure that you all will be able to answer. See, the faces 6, edges 12, vertices, corner points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then this is 6. Okay, everyone? 6, 7, and then this is finally 8. Okay, so the number of vertices, the corner points are 8. I hope it is very clear. Now, since we just now discussed that how many edges, how many faces, and vertices are there in a cube, and dice is of the form of cube, dice is also of the form of cube. So the same number of edges 12, faces 6, and vertices 8 will be found in the dice as well, because dice is also of the form of cube. Now moving ahead, the second question is, what are the types of dice? My dear students, dice is primarily of two types. Okay, number one is the standard dice. Number one is the standard dice. Okay, and the other one is just opposite of this, which is the non-standard dice. Okay, now what do we mean by them? Let us discuss. See, standard dice, you all must have seen the dice of a ludo. Okay, so the dice of a ludo was a standard one. Why? What is the meaning of standard dice? So the definition of standard dice is a dice in which the sum of numbers on the opposite faces is always 7. Okay, so I repeat, a dice in which the sum of numbers on the opposite faces is always 7 is a standard dice. The dice of the ludo, as I said, is a standard dice. So now on that, if you see, if you will observe, always at the opposite face of 1 you will get 6. Always at the opposite face of 2 you will be getting 5. And always at the opposite face of 3 you will be getting 4. So this is a standard dice in which the sum of numbers on the opposite faces is always 7. Now opposite to, if we talk about the non-standard dice, then its definition is non-standard dice is a dice in which the sum of numbers on the opposite faces is not necessarily 7. एक ऐसा डाइस जिसमें सम ऑफ नंबर्स ऑन द ऑपोजिट फेसेस कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि 7 होगा. जरूरी नहीं है का मतलब है वो 7 हो भी सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता है. So now, very confidently, you cannot just say, as in the case of standard dice, that one's opposite will be 6 only, two's opposite will be 5 only, three's opposite will be 4 only, in case of non-standard dice. Now, my dear students, I hope all of you have sometime in your life gone through what are the types of questions asked in dice. Even if you have not gone through, today you will get to know. All the questions of the dice generally are in the form of what will be opposite to 2, what will be opposite to 4, what will be opposite to 6, and some images of cube are also given together. Now just apply your mind. Images of the cube are given, and the examiner is asking opposite of 6 will be what, opposite of 5 will be what. So if in the examination questions will be asked from standard dice, तो क्या क्वेश्चन में कोई दम रह जाएगा? Will there be any use of such question and giving such images and then asking what will be opposite to 6, what will be opposite to 2 in case of standard dice? No, because easily you will answer. So therefore, unless otherwise stated, my dear students, unless otherwise stated, the questions in your examination will be from non-standard dice. Okay, for those students who have good imagination power, 3D visualization power, for them this is a very simple topic. But for them, okay, for those students who are not so good in imagination, 3D visualization, I would be discussing certain properties, and these properties, believe me, you will nowhere find at one place, and these are going to make your life very easy in such topics. So now let us begin with the properties. Now, my dear students, a dice has got total 6 faces. So now if we cut a dice and we open a dice, okay, then we will get structures as you can see over here. So all of the 3 things which you can see over here are nothing but open form of dice. These are nothing but open form of dice. This is one way of opening the dice. This is another way. This is another way. And now after this, if the examiner says that, okay, now we have to close the dice and we have to again make it a proper dice, then which face will be opposite to which one? How to understand that easily? So for that, I have brought this property, which clearly mentions, and what it says the alternating faces should be opposite to each other. Yes. See, what is the meaning of alternating face? The alternating day of Monday is Wednesday. The alternating day of Tuesday is Thursday, means after skipping one. So the alternating faces should be opposite to each other. For example, have a look at this image. The alternating face of 1 is 3. Hence you can see opposite of 1 is 3. The alternating face of 2 is 4. Hence you can see opposite of 2 is 4. The alternating face of 5 is 6. So opposite of 5 is 6. And hence we have done this. Now let us come to this image. Again, the alternating face of 1 is 3, so opposite of 1 is 3. The alternating face of 2 is 4, so opposite of 2 is 4. Now, a dice has got 3 pair of opposite faces. A dice has got 3 pair of opposite faces. Out of that, 2 pairs we have already got. Out of that, 1 and 2 pairs we have already got. So the one which is left out will be also the third pair of opposite faces. Opposite of 5 is 6. Alright. Now, similarly, my dear students, you all are well aware that alternating faces are opposite to each other. So now the opposite face of 1 is 3. Okay, because 1's alternate is 3. Are you all getting it? Now the alternating face of 4 is 6. So the opposite of 4 is 6. Now what is remaining? The ones which are remaining are also opposite. Opposite of 2 is 5. Getting it or not? Yes or no, my dear students? Okay. Now coming to the next property. Okay. Now these are very simple and verbally you will be able to understand them. The second property says, for each face in a cube, there is exactly one face which is opposite to it. The remaining 4 faces shall be adjacent to it. Now let me explain this by the help of an example. Now see, consider the face, the roof. I have taken my room to be of the form of a cube. So you should take my room of the form of a cube. Okay, it has 6 faces, the one at the top, at the bottom, at the front, at the back, at the left, and at the right. Now, if I take the face over me, the roof, the only face which is not touching it at any place is the one at the bottom, the floor. So to that face, which is at over my head, the only face which is opposite to it, which is not touching it, is the one, the floor at the bottom. All the other faces, the one at the front, the one at the back, the one at the left, the one at the right, are touching it at some or the other place. So that is the meaning. For each face in a cube, there is exactly one face which is opposite to it. The remaining 4 faces shall be adjacent to it, which means touching it at some or the other place. It's a very simple property. Third property says it moves one step ahead. The third property moves one step ahead and it says that for every 2 adjacent faces in a cube, okay, I am repeating, it says for every 2 adjacent faces in a cube, okay, there are exactly 2 more faces which are adjacent to both of them, but these 2 more faces shall be opposite to each other. Now this is slightly tricky and I will be explaining you in a very simple manner. See, this property number 3, goes one step ahead. It goes one step ahead and says for every 2 adjacent faces. Now let me take again my room of the form of cube and let me take 2 adjacent faces. Let me take the face at the top, which is the roof, and let me take the face at my back. Okay, so the 2 faces are adjacent because they are touching at some place above. So for these 2 faces, the one at the top and the one at my back, okay, for these 2 adjacent faces, the faces which are adjacent are these 2. Okay, but these 2 are opposite to each other. I should again explain. See, if I take the face at the top and the face at my back, the faces which are adjacent to both of them is not the front one. Front one is opposite to it. And it is not the bottom one. Bottom one is opposite to it. So the face which is adjacent to both the top and my back face are these 2. But these 2 are opposite to each other. That is the meaning of property number 3. Moving ahead. Now this is the very easy one. Property number 4 is very easy one. It says the pair of opposite faces cannot have any common vertex. Yes. See, if the faces are opposite, how can they have common corner point? Okay, just imagine a cube. For example, the top face. The top face, the roof of your house has corner points. The vertices at the top corners. And the opposite to it, the floor has corner points at the bottom corners. How will they have common vertex? So that is the point which you have to keep in mind, that the pair of opposite faces do not share common vertex. All right. Fine, everybody. I hope all of you are getting this. Now, very, very important property. Very, very important property. It is divided into 2 parts. Let us discuss them. if two or more positions of the same dice have been given. I should repeat, if two or more positions of the same dice are given and they have exactly one common face, then we can determine all the pair of opposite faces. How many pairs? All the three. Let us divide it into two parts, part A and part B. And in part A says, when the common face is at same location. Okay. So if two or more positions of the same dice are given and they have exactly one common face, then we can determine all the three pair of opposite faces, part A, when the common face is at same location. Now see, here in these two figures which are there in front of you, okay, if you see carefully, what is the common face in them? Only one face is common and that is 3. Only one face is common and that is 3. Now you must understand, my dear students, that suppose this is the cube, okay, and this is called the top, this is called the front, and this is called the side. So top, front, side. So now when the two or more images of the same cube are given and they have exactly one common face, then we can determine all the three pair of opposite faces. How? Let us see. When the common face is at same location, my dear students, when the common face is at same location, so two or more images of the same cube, only one face common and that is 3, and in both the figures it is at the same location at the top. So in that case, the corresponding faces will be opposite. The corresponding faces will be opposite means front ka opposite front. So opposite of 5 is 6. Side ka opposite side. So opposite of 2 is 1. So now what is left out? 3 ka opposite kya ho sakta tha? Only 4. So that is the way. That is the way in which you will do. Okay? You need not mug up anything. For example, if you are given something like this, okay, if you are given something like this, okay, it's nothing to mug up at all, okay, I am there to help you. So now see, if something like this is given, in which suppose 4 is over here, 5, 6, 3 and 2, and now again if you see the common face is only one and that is again at the same location side. So in that case, opposite of top will be top, opposite of 5 is 3, opposite of front will be front, opposite of 6 will be 2. And now what is left out to be opposite for 4? Only 1. So in that case, this will be the way in which things will go out. Okay? I hope it is very clear. But so easily we can only do when the common face is at same location. When it is not at the same location, then what we are going to do? For that, part B is there. And part B says when the common face is not at same location. So when the common face is not at same location, then we can start with the common element. We can start with the common element. See, for example, in these two figures, only one face is common. And that common face is what? 1. In these two figures, only one face is common. And that face is 1. But unlike previous one, it is not at the same location. So in these cases, we will start with the common element. And then we can go, we have the freedom, we can choose either we can move in clockwise direction or we can move in anti-clockwise direction. And again the corresponding faces will be opposite. For example, let me go by clockwise direction. Okay, common face is 1. So in both the figures, now we have to move in clockwise way. So if we go in clockwise, after 1 you will come to 5, after 5 you will come to 4. So from 1 to 5, from 5 to 4. In this, after 1 you will come to 3 and after 3 you will come to 2. So from 1 you will come to 3 and then to 2. And now the corresponding faces are opposite. Opposite of 4 is 2. Opposite of 5 is 3. And that opposite of 1 is 6. So that is exactly what you are getting over here. Now if one chooses that no, I have to go in anti-clockwise direction. So no, you do not have to worry. घबराने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. Okay, how? See, if you choose to go in anti-clockwise direction, starting you have to do from the common element only, that is 1. Okay, now if you go in anti-clockwise direction from 1, okay, so now from 1, 4 and then 5, anti-clockwise. From 1, 4 and then 5. Here from 1, 2 and then 3. Anti-clockwise from 1, 2 and then 3. And again the same thing you will get. Opposite of 5 is 3, opposite of 4 is 2, and opposite of 1 only 6 is remaining. So that is what is the freedom that you can get in my subject. Nothing to mug up, only to understand and solve. But remember, this property will work only if two or more positions of the same cube are given and they have exactly one face common. But what if they have got two faces in common? So we have the last property. If two or more positions of the same dice are given, or if two or more positions of the same cube are given, and they have exactly two common face, they have two common face, then we cannot determine all the pair of opposite faces. Okay, then we cannot determine all the pair of opposite faces. However, we can calculate or we can check and determine only one pair of opposite faces. How? See, two images of the same cube are given, and now this time they have two faces common. So the property which we just read before this, that cannot be applicable over here. And what is common over here? 6, 3 and 6, 3 are common. So the moment we see two faces are common, we cannot determine all the pair of opposite faces. However, one pair of opposite faces can be concluded, and that is the uncommon faces. The uncommon faces, 2 and 4, the uncommon faces shall be opposite to each other. All right? I hope all of you are getting this. Fine, everyone. Now, after understanding all these properties, let us begin with the question discussion. Here we go. See the first question. 4 positions of a cube are given, and based on them we have to find that opposite to 4. Just read the question. 4 positions of a cube are given. Based on them, find out which number is found opposite to 4 in given cube. Now see, where is 4? 4 is over here. 4 is over here. What are the numbers other than 4 we can see? 1 and 6. Here also see 1 and 6. So now here apply the property in which two faces are common. So if two or more positions of the same cube are given and they have exactly two common faces, 1, 6 and 1, 6. So in that case, the opposite of 4 is 3. The uncommon faces are opposite. So this we can solve by this property. Okay, we can solve it by this property. Okay, and it is not mandatory that you have to use this property only. You can solve it by other property like, see, if you want to use some other property and it is asking you that what will be opposite to 4. Very easy, no worries at all. See, here what you are getting, 2, 3, 1. Use these two. Okay, if you use these two, then what is common? 3, 5, 6, 3, 2, 1. Only and only one face is common, and that is 3. So now start from 3 and go in clockwise direction. From here, if you go in clockwise direction, after 3, 6 and 5 is there. After 3, 6 and 5 is there. All right, everybody, clockwise. And here also after 3, 2 and 1 is there. Okay, 2 and 1 is there. So opposite of 5 is 1, opposite of 6 is 2, opposite of 3 is 4. And that is what is being asked. That is what is being asked, that what is opposite to 4? You will be getting 3. And that was the answer, if you can remember. So it is not mandatory that you have to use this property only. Whichever property you can see easily, apply that. Answer will be same, irrespective of which. Now here, which number will be on the face opposite to 6? Face opposite to 6. So there are various ways again to find out the answer. Okay, I will use these two figures. Only one face is common in them, and that is 6, and that too at the same location. So the tops opposite will be top face. Okay, I hope all of you are getting this. See, I discussed the property with you that if two or more images of the same cube are given and they have exactly one common face, we can determine all the pair of opposite faces. So now here, opposite of 3 will be 4. Opposite of 3 will be 4. Opposite of top will be top. Opposite of this front 5 will be 1. Opposite of this front 5 will be 1. And now what is left out for being opposite to 6? It is 2 only. So in that case, the answer is option number D, that is 2. Are you all getting this or not? Okay. Now here, which number is opposite to 4? My dear students, two images are given, only one face common. We will start from the common element and go in clockwise or in anti-clockwise direction. So I am going in clockwise. From 4, you will come to 1 and then to 2. All right, everyone. From 4, you will come to 1 and then to 2. Okay. And from here 4 you will come to 5 and then to 6. And now if you again see, opposite of 2 is 6, opposite of 1 is 5, opposite of 4 is what? 3. And that is the answer. What number will be opposite to 4? It is 3. Okay. Next. Here, 4 positions of a dice are given below. Identify which number is on the face opposite to 6. Opposite to 6. Now just see, other than 6 are 3 and 2. Other than 6 are 3 and 2. In any figure, can you see 3 and 2? No. Leave this. See in this. Other than 6 are 4 and 2. But 4 and 2 can be seen here also. So use that property in which 2 positions were common. So here also 2, 4, 2, 4 common. So the uncommon one, opposite of 6, will be 1. Okay. So that is the right answer. Answer is option number B. Alright. Answer is option number B. Opposite of 6 will be 1. Now, which of the following is not a standard dice? Okay, is not a standard dice. See, standard dice is a dice in which the sum of numbers on the opposite faces is always 7. Standard dice is a dice in which the sum of numbers on the opposite faces is always 7. Okay, fine. So now apply the same thing. And here it is asking which of the following is not a standard dice. Okay, now just tell me, my dear students. 1, 3 and 2, 4, 5 and 6, 2, 5 and 4, 3, 5 and 6. How we can see? 5 is opposite to 2. In a standard dice, my dear students, in a standard dice, 5 का opposite क्या होगा? 2 होगा. Alright. So here 5's opposite is not 2. So this is not a standard dice. This is not a standard dice. Had this been a standard dice, you will not see 5 and 2 near each other. You will not see them near each other. Okay. See, if these two are the opposite faces, please understand, my dear students, how to make your task easy. If these two are opposite faces, from them you will see any one. From these you will see any one. From these you will see any one. So in any figure, can you see 1 and 6 together? No. In any figure, can you see 3 and 4 together? No. In any figure, can you see 2 and 5 together? Yes. And therefore, this is the problem. This is not at all a standard dice. Had it been a standard dice, then 2 and 5 wouldn't have been neighbors of each other. Opposite of 5 would be 2. So both cannot be seen at the same time. Below, 3 positions of a dice are given. Which number is opposite to 3? My dear students, see, 3 is here. Okay, in the very first image you can see 3, and here it is asking below 3 positions of a dice are given, which number is opposite to 3. Now if it is asked which number is opposite to 3, now I hope that you can answer the questions verbally as well. See, first thing what you should try is 3 is given in option number A or figure A. Other than 3 you can see 1 and 2. Other than 3 you can see 1 and 2. Okay, so is 1 and 2 seen anywhere else? Yes, you can see 1 and 2 over here. You can see again 1 and 2 over here. Okay, everyone, in the very first figure. So the uncommon faces are opposite, isn't it? Not. In this figure, 1 and 2 are common. And in the very first figure, my dear students, again 1 and 2 are common. Alright, everybody, again 1 and 2 are common. So the uncommon faces, opposite of 3 is 5. Opposite of 3 is 5. Getting it, everyone? Alright. Now, here is the next one. Which number will be opposite to 5? Opposite to 5. Now just see. 3, 2 and 3, 2 are common. In these two questions, just apply the property of 2 face common. 3, 2 and 3, 2 are common. Now, which will come opposite to face containing n? Now, other than n, p and q are there. Can you see p and q anywhere together? No. Okay. No worries. Do one thing, my dear students. Here you can see n. Other than n, z and s are there. But z and s are nowhere there. So do not worry. Just do one thing. In these two faces, only one face is common, and that is in these two faces only one face is common, and that is P. So now the corresponding faces are opposite. In these two cubes, only one face is common, and that common face is P. So now opposite of n will be R. Okay, directly opposite of front is front. Opposite of side is side. So opposite of Q will be Z. And now opposite of P, what is remaining? Only and only S is remaining. Okay, everyone. Fine. So I hope all of you are getting that opposite to n will be r, and that is why option D. Now, the next one. What will be the number of surface opposite to 4? Number of surface opposite to 4. So now, other than 4, you can see 1 and 5 over here. You can see 1 and 5 common, 1 and 5 common. So use the property 2 faces common. The uncommon face 4 will be opposite to 3. So what will be the number on the surface opposite to 4? It will be 3. Alright. Now, two views of the same cube are given. If sky blue is on the top, what will be at the bottom? So opposite of sky blue is asked. Now see, pink, violet and green, the common face is violet. The common face is violet. So if you go in clockwise direction, okay, from violet you will come to pink and then green. From here violet you will come to black and then sky blue. Black and then sky blue. So now opposite of sky blue is green, and that is the right answer. Opposite of sky blue is green. Okay, fine. And now opposite of this thing, the pink will be what? Black. Okay, and so on. I hope you will be able to answer this now. Now, here again the same. It is telling you if the color pink is at the top, if the color pink is at the top, then which will be at the bottom? Okay, I should repeat, if the color pink is at the top, what will be at the bottom? Now in these two, if you see, my dear students, yellow, red, green, green is common. So from green, start in clockwise direction. Here from green, if you go in clockwise direction in the first one, from green you will first come to red and then yellow. You have to go in clockwise direction, or you have the freedom to go in anti-clockwise also. So from green, red and then yellow. Okay, getting it everyone? From green, red and then yellow. And from here, green, pink and then black. Green, pink and then black. So if pink color, opposite to that is red. Alright, green, red, yellow. Green, pink, black. So opposite of pink is red. And that is the right answer. So I hope all of you are able to solve the question now. Alright everyone, getting it or not? Okay. Now, two different positions of a dice are shown. Which number is opposite to 4? Opposite to 4. So you can see only one common face in them. So now, if you go in clockwise direction from here, okay, you will get 4, 5 and then 6. Starting is to be done from the common element. And now in this figure, my dear students, in this figure also if you go, then what you are going to get? From 4, if you see 1 and 2, isn't it? From 4 you go to 1 and 2. Alright. From 4 you go to 1 and 2. So 1 and then 2. So now opposite to 6 is 2, opposite of 5 is 1, opposite of 4 is 3. And therefore the correct answer is option number B, that is 3. Alright. So here 4, 1 and 2. Here 4, 5 and 6. So now opposite of 6 is 1, opposite of 6 is 2, opposite of 5 is 1, and the opposite of 4 will be 3. That is the right answer. So with this, I hope that the theory was clear. We solved lots of questions as well, and I hope that you really loved this and learned something new. Thank you. Have a great day ahead.